looking for ring number 8. Tom is at minicamp putting in that work. The Bucs have full attendance at camp, very impressive, and are returning all their starters from last year's Super Bowl winning team, which is almost unheard of. After that Super Bowl win, Tom did take care of some business knee surgery, which he needed since early 2020. Tom?
Was an injury I dealt with really, since last, April, May. I knew I would have to do something at the end of the year, and happy I did it. And it was probably something that was it certainly needed to be done, and there's a great outcome. So I'm very happy about that. I feel I'll be able to do some different things this year than I was able to do last year.
All right, we bring in a guy who knows a thing or two about winning a ring with Tampa. That would be the one and only Keyshawn Johnson. Good morning to you, sir. Stephen, I'm going to start with you. Who's the biggest threat to the Bucs?
Wow, it's a tough call. But, I'm not going to sleep on the Ravens because of Lamar Jackson and his electrifying talent, behind center and what he brings to the table. I'm also going to pay attention to the Titans because I love what they've done with picking up Julio Jones. I'm sorry. You talking about? I'm sorry.
NFC.
NFC.
We're about to do AFC. You jumped into
going AFC.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's the Seahawks.
Okay.
It's the Seahawks. I'm thinking about Russell Wilson. I'm thinking about DK Metcalf. I'm thinking about the fact that, some of the things that was bothering Russell Wilson has been handled. And I just think that, along with their experience, to me, puts them as a legitimate threat. I still think there's some question marks with Garoppolo and San Fran. I still think Stafford, even though he's got a lot to prove, is a question mark in L.A. Let's see what they do, even though their defense is real. I'm looking at the Seattle Seahawks, led by Russell Wilson, as being the legitimate threat to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is still on the Packers, I'll take the Packers. And if Aaron Rodgers goes somewhere else in the NFC, I might take them. But as of right now, assuming Rodgers winds up in the AFC, give me the Los Angeles Rams. There's a reason they traded 2 firsts and what was it, a 4th? Plus Jared Goff, the former #1 overall pick who's made 2 Pro Bowls and has been a quarterback in the Super Bowl for Matthew Stafford. Because McVay looks and goes, I can't quite do what I need to do with Goff. I can with that guy. And when an offensive coach like McVay identifies his quarterback and moves mountains to go get him, that tells you something about what he's anticipating he's going to do. Now, there's change on the offensive line, but they still got Whitworth, their best offensive lineman, their left tackle. They have an offense. They have a defense. They have the best defensive player in the league. They look to me over the last couple seasons like they were ready to take the next step, if only. And it seems like they got the if only addressed. I say the Rams are the biggest threat if Rodgers is in the AFC.
Oh, boy, I can scratch my head in a lot of different places here, but I got to agree with you to a degree, Max. I think when you look at the Los Angeles Rams and everything that you pointed out at the quarterback spot, here's the problem for me, though, is the defensive side of the ball. Yes, they have Aaron Donald and they have Jalen Ramsey, but they also got a new defensive coordinator in Raheem Morris. It's not like Raheem Morris as a DC has lit the world on fire. So we got to be careful saying that this defense is going to be the same. They lose Johnson to the Cleveland Browns. Taylor Rapp falls into that position. Yes, on the offensive side, they did pick up Matthew Stafford. But Matthew Stafford is 0-3 lifetime in the playoffs. So if it's true that he has his guy at the quarterback spot, it's boom or bust for the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. There's huge pressure on Stafford. We're going to get to that later in the show. But I don't think if you're going to talk about the biggest threat to the Bucs, and we're not talking Packers because we don't know what's going to go on with Rodgers, I don't think you have to leave the NFC West. I think you could legitimately take the Seahawks, even though the offensive line and the defense hasn't been everything people wanted because of the quarterback.
I would say, though, don't sleep on New Orleans just because Drew Brees is gone. Don't think that Jameis Winston is a bum at quarterback under Sean Payton. Don't think that for one bit.
I don't think he's a bum, but I do think that he's a turnover waiting to happen. And I think that he's good. I think that he's good for his 30-plus touchdowns. I think that he'll win more than he'll lose. I think that he'll be better under Sean Payton than he ever was in Tampa. I'll give him that. I'm not finished with Jameis Winston. I don't think his career is over or anything like that. But I think the expectations when you're looking at the Saints is, can he beat Drew Brees? Can he be that dude as a passer? And that answer is no, because the greatest thing about Drew Brees was his accuracy. And I don't think anybody will accuse Jameis Winston of pulling that off.
Yeah, but Stephen A., It's all about the coach putting you in the right position at quarterback to be successful and to succeed. Yes, he had some success in Tampa Bay, but they let him, they kind of hung him out to dry, having him throw the ball 50 times a game. You can't do that. You have to know what you have at that particular position.
I think people are also sleeping on the other two teams in the NFC West. Arizona keeps getting better. Kyler Murray keeps getting better. Yes, he does.
You can have that. You can have that.
And San Francisco. San Francisco was in the Super Bowl the year before last. If Garoppolo can stay healthy or be healthy at the right time,
right.
San Francisco's live.
Why did you just want to make the Bay Area laugh if he can stay healthy? Really?
Well, they have to have a pretty good
battle. Frisco's legit. Frisco's a legit opportunity, but don't mention Arizona, man.
All right. Stephen A says the Seahawks, Max and Key, are saying the Rams as their number one choice as threat to the Bucs. Now we move to the AFC. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl the past 2 seasons. We know how loaded they are, heavy favorites in the conference again. And then earlier this week, Max said the Browns are the biggest threat. Stephen A had said the Titans and the Ravens. Keyshawn saw that segment and had a bone to pick in this edition of Keywords.
Don't start twisting my words. See, that's why I don't like to do interviews.
Shut your up. Who scheduled this game?
I got a hell of a reputation, don't I? I wasn't picked here to be put on the back burner.
They can't cover me. They can't cover me.
Put up awesome numbers, won a Super Bowl ring. What more can you ask for?
All that screaming.
What can you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can't do anything. There's nothing. We can't do. We couldn't throw. We throwing interceptions. Just, man.
Oh, God. Yes, I do. Yeah, Molly, I do have a bone to pick with them. But I also have keywords for both Max and Stephen A. Look, man, you mentioned every team. You mentioned the Titans, right? You mentioned the Browns, the Ravens. Nobody mentioned the New England Patriots, and I don't know why. Why do you not mention the greatest modern-day head coach? Mind you, went out in free agency, spent a boatload of money, something they've never done before, to shore up certain positions. They got Nelson Aguilar. Kendrick Bourne came over from the Niners. They traded back for Trent Brown from the Raiders. He had the best seasons that got him paid to Oakland at the time from New England. On top of all of that, they bring in Matt Patricia, who got hired as the defensive coordinating specialist to head coach in Detroit. We know how that worked out, but that's not his, his thing is defense. He comes in, and we know he's not probably going to be getting the title, but he's going to be calling the defense. And on top of that, Cam Newton, he's as healthy as ever. When you look at him prior to COVID, his numbers were way better than they were before. After COVID. So when you start to think about that, man, how could y'all leave out New England? I don't get it.
I only took one team, Key. I took the Browns because I think they're the biggest threat. But I think, Stephen A., I think New England's a good call. They'd be up there for me.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Yes, that is my name.
First of all, I just want to know, first of all, I love the new segment and I love the intro and all of that
Keywords.
stuff. I especially love the part where you were saying that's why I don't like to do interviews. And now here you are in the business doing interviews. I think that's hilarious. But anyway, but I'm proud to have you, my brother. I'm proud to have you as a colleague. Here's the deal that I find. I want to be careful. I want to preface this comment by saying I would encourage everyone. Cam Newton has a fly cigar bar in Atlanta, right down the block from the Mercedes-Benz. You gotta go to that spot. Cam Newton cigar spot in the ATL. That's one of my favorite spots. It's beautiful to go to, and I don't smoke cigars. But anyway, having said all of that, Key, here's my problem.
Let me know.
That it comes down to him. Their defense is going to be significantly better because you got about 7 to 8 bodies that come back. I have no question about their defense. I don't see Buffalo going anywhere. I don't see Miami fading. I think Miami and Buffalo are not going to be a joke. They're going to be something to reckon with. And I don't think Mac Jones is going to be ready as a rookie. So it comes down to Cam Newton, who's a stud athlete, no doubt. But when it comes to flinging that football with a degree of accuracy, I think that's going to be a challenge. And when you look at the totality of the AFC conference, and that's why the Patriots are not my number one threat to the Chiefs.
And that's okay, but you didn't mention them. Y'all didn't mention them. Y'all just forgot about them. And yes, Cam
we got to pick somebody.
I didn't forget about him.
Cam Newton has always had accuracy problems, even when he went to the Super Bowl.
I agree.
It's not a secret.
I agree.
But you as a coach and a coaching staff need to know the throws, his best throws, the throws that he can make and execute them. And think about it for a minute, though, man. Really, who was he throwing to last year? Yes, he was dribbling balls in the ground at times. No question. But he also was putting it in the breadbasket and they was dropping it. So let's be fair and real at the same time.
Well, yeah,
They bring in Jonnu Smith. They bring in Henry from the Chargers. They're upgrading to give him the necessary help.
Yeah, right. Especially a guy like Cam Newton. Get him tight ends. They got him tight end talent. I agree with that. Look, he was 2 plays away from going 9-7 last year, coming off a catastrophic injury, new team, new system, no preseason because of COVID. Facilities getting shut down during the year because of COVID.
Max,
he got COVID. No receivers. I agree. And
Max, if he takes the football, if he takes the football against Buffalo and put it in his left arm in the sideline instead of his right arm, he doesn't fumble. If